Wastewater treatment process in malls or hotels. The system generally used uses activated sludge. Waste generally comes from toilets, bathrooms, kitchen, or laundry water disposal. Wastewater is collected, then pumped to the waste processing area. First, the waste passes through a screw pump or screw pump. Then rubbish or solid objects passes the bar screen so as not to interfere with the next process. Next, the garbage or solid objects washed and processed to be taken to the final disposal site. After passing through the bar screen, the water is put into grit chamber to settle particles such as sand or gravel. This process aims to separate water, from sand or other particles. Sand and other particles are deposited and then taken to the landfill, just like the solids and waste. The next process is primary clarification or equalization or sedimentation tank. In the tank there is a sweeping arm or skimmer. Its function is to sweep up all floating debris to be pumped into the digester. Next, the water is pumped into the aeration tank for biological processes. In the aeration tank there are good microorganisms, which will help the water treatment process. Wastewater provides food for bacteria to survive and digest waste naturally. In this process there is a blower in the water to supply the oxygen needs of microorganisms. Air is also used for the coagulation and flocculation process. Its purpose is to bind microbial colonies and waste particles to be easily separated from water. The next process is secondary clarifier, as we have seen before. This clarifier allows for the sedimentation of activated sludge, then pumped into the aeration tank to reuse the microorganisms, and the rest will be taken to the digester to be processed. Before the final process, there is an active sludge processing process or digester. Unlike aeration tanks, which use aerobic processes, digesters operate anaerobically or without air. It takes at least 15 days for the mud to go through this process. Before entering the next process, the activated sludge still contains quite a lot of water, so it needs to be processed in the next operation, with a unit called belt press. The mud is pressed with a layer of belt press, so the mud becomes denser. The mud is then dried and then thrown away or made into fertilizer. Back again to the processed water process, which has reached the final stage. In this process the chlorine pump pumps chlorine from its reservoir, then mix it with water with a static mixer. Chlorine serves as a final disinfection before the end, discharged into the river through the pipe outlet. Every process requires correct and proper handling so that wastewater is environmentally friendly and nature is well maintained.